Boys, what's up? How you doing? Sorry, we totally screwed up the beginning. Welcome back to me. I'm back. Yeah, so today we have a fusion. This is one of my favorite cards to tint because everything about this is really straightforward, except I guess the dot matrix at the top. So we have a little trick that we're going to be doing for that. I have to do something here, right quick here, while I'm talking, which means that this isn't always how this works. Delete forever. There we go. Cool, this is the right stream. Love putting out notifications to the wrong stream window, but hey, we're a little rusty, but we're doing good here. Yeah, it's been a minute. And what's funny is that, so I went on a vacation. I didn't really want an end. I know I told you guys before I did it, but only so many people pay attention. Funny thing happened. The day I left, somebody literally drove. So we had this power line that was kind of dangling down a little bit lower, and they pull box trucks in here all the time. And it sunk low enough, and they just ripped it clean off the building. Just almost fried the whole building up. So this building has been without power for 2 weeks. So the day that I got to Texas, I check the shop, and just nothing. No internet, no power, and I just had no idea, right? I don't know if the power's out. I don't know if the internet's out. I just don't know if somebody broke in here and stole everything. So I was like, okay, this has never happened before, and now all of a sudden, I'm just completely out of state and have no eyes on my building. So that was fun. Literally the day I left, that happened. But turned out to work out in my favor for when it happened, not that it happened. But the power came back on Saturday. So the day I got back, I leave, power gets ripped off the building. Took them 2 weeks to fix and get inspected, and now we're back. So hey, what's up? What'd you guys do while I was gone? You guys make some money? I lost some money because I was on vacation. You know, if you're not working, you're not making money. Vacation was good. It was very hot in Texas. Go figure, July, right? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. House with a pool, a lot of relaxing. Went to Houston quite a few times, and had some family out there too. So it was a good time for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump into this and get started. No wonder you took so long to ship. Man, I am so sorry. So I had somebody to handle that, and no power here for 2 weeks. Everything was here ready to ship, and then just there's nothing to fulfill the orders. So that really, really sucks. So I got those out on Monday. Yeah, that normally doesn't happen. So how much did you spend at Sun Distributing? That was $1,300 worth of tools. And it basically, my goal was to put stuff in the box and then also put stuff on a display wall. And it basically only fits in the box. You'll see. We'll go over that too. Yeah, we're kind of working on that little streaming cart over there, which is coming along really, really well. I'm going to make it a little bit more functional, but we're going to jump into check. We good? We're going to jump into this guy a little bit. Can I show you some of the new stuff? Oh, I don't know. Yes, definitely. All right, so let's just break down what I bought so far. Basically, so this is my streaming cart / tool cart. The idea of this was just to have everything close on hand, not only on one side of the shop over there, but also on this side. The more you go back and forth, the more time you waste. So figured this was a good idea. So we have all these lovely magnetic holders on the side. The whole cart is basically just an upgraded Harbor Freight tool cart. It's the 5-drawer one. This is one of the only ones that came in white, so it looks really nice. 40-inch TV so I can see what's going on. Mouse, keyboard. I got some blades here. And then as far as what I bought, that's where this gets real fun. So this drawer right here is my favorite. But basically, we have like a tri-edge drawer, and then also like a scrubby pad drawer. We're going to be changing some of this, but for now, this is what it is. We have the glacé drawer, and then, oh, I love this drawer so much. If you guys ever had a question about a squeegee, I think I might have it. So we got literally every Fusion squeegee. We have the different Blue Max. I didn't know they had a like Clear Max, which is very similar to this guy right here. We got all the Fusion turbos. We even got this funny guy right here. And then we got the hybrids, the short Fusions, and we got the Hornet over there, which is their PPF one, but it looks like it would also act somewhat like a hybrid if we cut it down. So last drawer is mostly back glass tools right here. So then we got a bunch of other chemicals down here, so adhesive removers and baby shampoo, Dawn, tin slime, and I also got the Fusion Max Flex heat gun. So that's kind of a rundown on this crazy thing. So yeah, this is my favorite drawer. The idea here is to have everything on hand, but right now it's more of a display. We're going to be checking out some differences. So if you ever wondered the difference between, what we even got the black Fusion squeegee blade right here. So if you're like, what's the difference between this one and that one? It's like I got basically everything. So coming along really, really nicely. Very happy with this thing. It's just so much fun. So how do you like the red line? Interesting story about the red line. I was using the wrong red line. So I got the non-cropped version. So what's interesting here is the non-cropped versus the cropped. These will all look the same now. But basically, the end of the red line has a different bevel on the non-cropped version versus the cropped one. So all these seem to have the same beveled edge. And so when I first used the red line, it was like a super stiff block. But this one feels like it'll be better. So we're actually going to give it another fair shake and see how we like it. So, and then I want to try this black one out here pretty soon as well. So right now we're rocking a brand new hybrid blade. So I'm pretty happy with this blade. This is probably my favorite blade right now. What's the word on Glassade? I have it. This is probably the last of the Glassade in existence. I will know more very soon. I'm very sorry, too, that it has taken this long, but we're hopefully going to clear things up here pretty soon. All right, so we got a carded tint. So enough gushing for now. We're going to be diving back into the box plenty of times. We're always going to need tools and stuff. So we're going to be doing 20% on this. This is one of my favorite cars to tint for a number of reasons. Really loose side seals, really easy to shrink back window. And then they just have, I forgot, they do have these goofy quarters that you can kind of trim this out. And then they have this dot matrix border on the back that will always give you like this weird silvering in an inconsistent way. It used to be a problem. It's not as much of a problem, but we're going to put Dotrix on that to fix that because it's not something that I ever like to leave with a band that big. So I have some spare Dotrix, so that's what I got it for, so we're going to use it. All right. So where is my 20? I'm still getting things reorganized here, so that's kind of why I have film boxes all over the place. You notice this is a Tuesday? So we don't usually stream on Tuesdays, right? Well, we are 100% here all the time. So now we need to get, we have some time to get things reorganized, which will be good. So let's go ahead and start getting this thing all prepped, ready to go here. My personal car has been tinted for about 4 years. I'm just getting into tinting. Any tips or tricks when removing old film? I have a couple of videos on removing old film. Really, what it comes down to is you want some heat on it, so use a steamer. You can get a cheap steamer, and it's all about keeping the film together as you peel it. So if it's old flaky stuff, it's going to suck to remove. If it comes off in one sheet, that's great. Then you'll have adhesive to deal with, and then you can use an awesome adhesive remover. Actually called Awesome. You can get it from the dollar store if you need to. Also, the tint version of that is called ATR. We have some of that now to play with. Oh, I don't really like this one very much. I was looking for some extra shower squeegees. So I have the green one that I've been using, and this one looked like it would be good, but it's not. It's too flat. It's meant for flat glass, but it's too flat. Just got done with the Fusion, had a problem with the vent windows. Yeah, these old vent windows or quarter windows are definitely different. Will a heat gun work, or is a steamer better? So on a back window, you're going to want to use a steamer. Heat guns on the interior, you're going to be too close to the deck lid, so you're probably going to fry it. Also, the moisture that comes along with a steamer is really, really helpful. You could try like just brute forcing it and just like ripping it off, and it'll leave a ton of glue behind, and then just sitting there with a scrub pad. But giving it a shot with a steamer is always recommended. So, plus if you get one, like just a simple cloth steamer, they're usually like 50, I think like $50. This is a pretty decent one. Plus you'll be able to unwrinkle your clothes very quickly, because that's what they're for. Alrighty. Trying to use up some of these scrap rolls before we dive back into, oh, that is pretty much done, isn't it? Before we dive into a more full roll. Trash bag method. You know, that is a great way to remove film. I can't really do that in this state most of the year, so that's why I haven't ever really recommended it. So if you're in a warmer state, trash bag, spray, I don't know. What do you guys recommend? I tried the 409 up here. That didn't work for shit. I've heard simple green is pretty good. Yeah, I gotta go through this whole tool cart and clean that up too. Is it considered gouging to sell my half roll of Glass Aid for $100? Hey, if you can get it, get it. So this third brake light, I haven't seen one of these in so long. They pop out, so we're gonna have to pop this guy out. It's one of the few brake lights that I actually remove. God, I forgot about these ones. So, little trunk pop right there. I tinted so many of these cars. Ooh, that doesn't feel like it's stable. Ooh, we got some subs. Cool. All right. So on this one, we got these little guys right here. So there's these little hooks there, and then you have to take out the light bulb, and that's just a twist out, and then it should come out. What I was hoping I didn't have to do is remove those little black grippies there. Sometimes it'll just pop out and you don't need to, and sometimes those little black grippies are all gonna get in the way. Oh, it came out, okay. So these things will kind of like get it to stick pretty horribly. And there you go. Your old Fusion brake light, which has never been removed because of how clean it is. All right. So we got some tape here. We are running very low, so we're gonna have to restock here pretty soon. I might have to use something else. Thought getting a job at the tint shop was easy, but I guess not. No, it's usually not. That's what's funny about people telling other people, like, yeah, just get a job at the tint shop. They'll teach you, and you'll make money. No. Some will, if they're nice. The problem is tint shops already want you to be able to tint because they're going to have to spend money teaching you. You can watch, but they have to slow down to actually show you how to do stuff, and then you're going to be wasting film and all types of stuff. So you just, unfortunately, when you're new, you create more headaches than not for a shop. You can do like simple things like prepping and whatnot, and then like if you could somehow get in doing that, then you could like find, you know, because there's always going to be like some slow times. So in those instances, you could kind of like work in training and whatnot. But also what they're worried about is that they'll teach you and then you'll just go start your own. So they just wasted a bunch of money on you and then created competition. So it's tough. It really is tough to get into. I didn't really make that connection for quite a while, but when I was asked to teach people working at Auto Tint City, that was one of the things that I ended up learning was, oh hey, I could spend a long time trying to teach somebody and then they just leave, and then I gotta make up for all their mistakes and everything, and at the end of the day, work's just gotta get done. But yeah, you know, if you can tape all the seals, prep all the windows, get everything all set up, and then if they have a plotter too, sometimes be in charge of that. I have a CTSV and I wanted to do the rear window, front windows, but the pillars are full suede. How do I tint them? You could, like if you want to actually cover them up, generally with like the sprays and stuff, they'll be totally fine. You could use like something like this. This is called Carpet Shield. It's just a light tack plastic. So that or a tape of something that's going to grab to it. So that would probably be your best bet. You'll just cut strips off of it and wrap it around the pillars and stuff. So it's got a sticky side and a plastic side, just like any other tape would. And it's made for going on fibers and stuff. So it's done pretty well at protecting door panels for me. It's not always 100, but that's why I keep it up there. Sheathing tape might not be a bad bet either because it already comes in these big strips. So this stuff, tuck tape, would not be bad. I think we might have just enough to do this whole car. Forgot about those quarters, man. These little guys. So these quarter windows are kind of funny. They got this giant rubber strip around here, and the window goes all the way here. And the way that I used to do these was I used to just cut them maybe like a ½ an inch into this and just say, yeah, there's no way you can do that. Oh, that was young tinter me. I'm an old tinter. Now we trim them. So you can trim a sliver out of it, a little bit more than a sliver, but you go all the way around and you got plenty of space at that point. Tuck it all back there. Be good to go. Car materials are kind of funny too. So like Cadillac with this suede is like, you know, they say leather and then it's not really leather. With the suede, what I found out is like, I just usually don't cover them very much, and they turn out fine. They'll get wet and then they'll dry out and they'll be totally fine. So if they're like tan, then you want to keep the dirt off of them, but. Oh no! Oh, we need to put a charger on this thing. This thing, if I ever saw a car that looked like it was going to die in the shop, it's an older car with a sub in the back. Now we got this. Look at this. I don't even want to take the zip ties off this thing. Where's my... Oh, those are tucked under. That's why this is all funny right now. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, I guess I gotta feed these through. you can tell, I haven't used this yet. We got it because we killed a few cars right in a row. And it's something I should have had for a while. So I don't know if this is going to die on me, but if I ever saw a car that looks like it might, this is definitely one of them. Don't cook the battery? Oh, we'll just leave it on starting the whole time. No, we got trickle charge. We'll be good. If anything, this will leave better than when it came. Oh, that's up. Come on. Post. Perfect. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, that should be fine. We'll just leave it at 6 amps. Just trickle charge it while we're working. Nothing crazy. Help me, I have a Prius Prime back. Wow, what was that? That was weirdly weird. All the windows work, that's good. Alright, I heard the Prius Prime comment. I actually haven't ever done one. But if you look in the Facebook group, somebody posted about it recently. So you could try asking in the group. Unfortunately, I've never done it. So what I would try to do is not do a 50-50 H pattern. It looks like you'd have to tack it more at the top of it and shrink more at the bottom. But like curves like that, they don't necessarily, like some of them can kind of cancel each other out. So you're gonna wanna leave enough slack in the bottom to handle those curves. So I'd look into the Facebook group and make a post and see if somebody's got any suggestions for you. This guy, I wanted this guy. Oh, wow, yeah, this guy, don't get that guy. Get this guy. This guy's much better. I couldn't find this the other day, though. I wanted to get another one. Sides are rigid. It's got a little bit of a curve. Works better. We're still going to look around for better squeegees, though. Fine. Keep your secrets. The orange tape is called tuck tape. There's also a white version, so you're not going to see me use the reddish orange version anymore. I just got both because I didn't know. It seems like the red one sticks a little bit more. Like it's got a more aggressive, like when I'm trying to unroll it, it's just like, gah! But I like the white one. It also looks better in my opinion. Does Tint Wiz work good for you being a one-man shop? Yeah, for sure. So what I like about them is the proposals and the clean invoicing. That's what I like most. I think they added text reminders. So there's some things that I still have to try out and play around with. I've just been busy and then on a vacation. So, and I know they're adding a deposits feature too, which would be super great. But you're going to want something to keep track of all your appointments, invoices. You know, you're going to have somebody call you like, hey, you tinted my car last year. What did you do? Like, what film did you use? And what shades did we go with? I want to tint something else. You know, all those types of situations. So it's great for invoicing. It looks really nice and helps keep track of everything. And the proposals feature is what really, really makes it special. Or that's one of the things that really makes it special. So this is a 36-inch. We're using Pro Classic. Somebody asked what I use more. Lately, it's been carbon and ceramic. So I had a set of doors with a strip this morning in ceramic. I've done a lot of ceramic jobs before my vacation, along with a lot of carbon jobs. So, but when I was tinting mobile, this was what I would install like 100% of the time. It's just like quick workhorse film, if that makes sense. Check out Pipeline. Same as TintWiz, but cut. I wouldn't say it's the same. I haven't tried it though. But one thing that I gotta throw out to my TintWiz boys is they have done an amazing job at trying to help support tinters in the community. So they get a lot of points for that. So they have a 30-day free trial. They have a free trial button that you can keep pressing too. So if you want to be crazy about it, it could be free for you. What's the blue pad? That's a tri-edge pad. We actually have brand new ones now. I got a drawer full. So, older glass, sometimes it's nice to just scrub down and squeegee the outside before you even get started. Usually can just wipe down with a towel, but, you know, be a little extra particular with like a scrub pad and a squeegee. It's not a bad thing, especially when you use the car as a peel board. So there's three main types of scrub pads. Really, most tinners were familiar with these. These are the white 3M ones. And then Tri-Edge has these Scrub It pads. And they also have these Scrub It holders, basically, for the pads. The blue one comes with the blue pad. Green one comes with the brown pad. I like the green one better just because it looks cooler. I like the green look. But one of these is more aggressive than the other, and I don't remember which one is. But yeah, they have two different types of scrub pads. One's a little softer, one's a little bit more aggressive. All of that is glass safe though. Glad I caught you live. YouTube doesn't send me notifications. That's weird. Did you disable YouTube notifications? What program are you running to do the stream? I do everything off of OBS. And I rebroadcast it through Restream. So Restream's got a little text-to-speech feature. So I hear all the comments. Not all of them, but most of them. You know, I'm talking. It's kind of hard to listen. But everything's red to me. Where do you get the red tap? That stuff is off of Amazon. It's, what is it called? Ooh, Civic spoiler. Sorry, tuck tape, you can find it on Amazon. It's from a Canadian manufacturer, so it's mostly sold in Canada. So for all of you Canadian watchers, good on you. There's finally something for you guys to get locally. I know most of the stuff you have to have shipped across the border, and that sucks. I'm trying to get my 21 Civic hatch ceramic tinted. All the shops in my area insist the spoiler comes off. I show them your Civic video with 3 spoilers, but they still insist spoiler off. Yeah, because they're cheap, and they didn't buy this piece of glass right here. This is your Civic glass, and I would happily tint it without removing anything. So, you could try reaching out on my Window Tint Stuff Facebook group and see if there's a shop in your area that maybe doesn't do that. Yeah, it's the shops that do, I'm assuming it's okay, but I don't like taking that kind of stuff apart. There's a lot of parts that need to be removed for that thing. But yeah, I know what you mean. They insist, but whatever. I just bought one. Are you doing the quarters all the way around to the rubber edge? So we're going to trim a little bit of it out, and then you can tuck behind it. Pump spray or tint Hosilla. Tint keg, bro. Tint keg. If you get a pump sprayer, get the Poly 2. Wasn't a big fan of like the Pump Juniors and stuff, but tint keg, I'm partial to the design. I love the look of this thing. It's awesome. So they're both quality tanks, but come on now. I've seen notifications work firsthand for like other people. But yeah, like, so it should, like if you have the bell on and if you didn't disable YouTube notifications, they should be working. Sometimes people disable the YouTube notifications on their phone. There's a dude in my area selling corny kegs. So for everybody that is buying like corny kegs, those are basically the heart of what they are. The kegs come from like the brewing industry, but there's more to it than that. There's a bunch of upgrades to that there's a lot of people that are selling them on the side, they aren't really putting much thought into, or are just trying to keep the price down really cheap. So the tint keg is not the cheapest keg on the market, but what they do is they put stainless steel and brass fittings. They upgrade the pressure release on it. The hoses are not cheap either. So what's different between, okay, so this is a Flexzilla hose, but that other hose is called a hybrid hose. And it's basically, you see how limp this this hose is right here? When you put anywhere from 60 to 100 PSI behind it, a lot of those inexpensive plastic hose, they stiffen up and they're all curly. So they're going to become tripping hazards. So you kind of want something that'll take the pressure and is made for the pressure and is also going to kind of just lay on the floor. Any tips for us beginners? This whole video, this whole stream, this is all like, all tips for beginners. This is the whole thing. Start to finish. I build them and use the Flexzilla hose. I like the Flexzilla hose. What I like about the blue one a little bit better now, I don't like the color of it as much as the Flexzilla, but even here, the Flexzilla has definitely lost its beautiful green, yellowy green. I like that color a lot. But after like a year, they start to swell up more towards like the inlet and stuff. Seems like they did something to help to fix it a little bit, but that was something that happened with my original Flexzilla hose, but it's a great hose for sure. Hello, I like your vid, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like your comment. What is your website, host or builder? I use Wix for my shop website. They have a really nifty drag and drop builder that some of the other platforms didn't seem to have. So it's not the perfect local business website, but it is functional enough, and it's where I also take all the deposits for all the appointments. So that's been a really big help. I just bought my what? Website and a premium Wix account. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so that's the platform I use. It's been pretty good. Do you have any info about GlassAid? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm hoping soon. So I know I've been saying that for a while, but that's what I keep hearing. Last, doc update was supposed to be basically on Monday. So we'll find out here pretty soon. It's not made yet, but hopefully we'll have material in stock here pretty soon. Ooh, Super Chat. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Dorito Super Chatted $4.99. What's up, Matt TT? Hope life is going great and business stays rolling in. Praying gesture, stay tinting and stay
Dorito
frosty.
with the 5. Wow, I gotta change the volumes. I couldn't hear any of that. I was hoping that I'd be able to hear it. I think you guys can hear it just fine. Where's my... There's mine. 1 second here. I have glasses and my eyes still aren't that good to read all the way over there. I can almost read to that side though. Maybe I should just make the text bigger. I need a bigger monitor. Dorito! Dorito! What's up, bud? Thank you for the 5. What's up, Matt? Hope life is going great. Business stays rolling in. Stay tinting and stay frosty. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we got a full week, so this is good. Let me adjust some volume here really quick. Oh, that is way high. Okay, that might fix it for me. Where did you buy the 30-degree blades from? You can get them from Sun Distributing, and I believe Tint Depot also has them too. So the 30-degree blades that I use are the NT version. I'm maybe going to mess around with some other ones, but I really like NT. The only thing that threw me off about their recent stainless steel ones is they're starting to rust. Do you have a graphic designer? I do. Not on staff, though. I think her prices went up, too. Iron Duck Designs. She does so much work for window tinting and vinyl companies. We're still trying to figure out notifications for somebody. Those are the only things that I can think of. I don't know. That's about all there would be. Maybe YouTube suppressing my channel. Can I get some estimates on the work? I have no idea what she would quote you, because it's been a little while since I've had anything custom done. Last thing I had done was the Detroit Tint Studio stuff. That was last year. So with graphic work, it's all like depends on the size of the project and how busy she is. Dang, that stuck good. Alrighty, cool. Should we use the blue? Or should we use the tan? I suppose we should use the Scrub It paddle too. But I don't know. Which one? What should we use? I don't even want to open this. It's a brand new pack. There. Now it looks like it's not been opened. And then Oh, we didn't even have to do that if we're gonna use it, because they already come with it. Oh, dang. Here, let's just use the blue one. I want to keep the green one nice. Unboxing. So this strap here is like, this one will kind of drive you a little bit crazy because it's got Velcro on this side. So when you use it like this, it'll start to grab towels and stuff. You can put like a felt strip over that, something a little bit different, but that's kind of annoying. Thought on going mobile and using pop-up tent with sidewalls. That'll work, and I've seen people do it. The trickiest part is the wind. So on a windy day, it's gonna blow the tent around. So you got to keep them weighted, and they'll only work up to a certain amount. The most annoying part with tinting out of a tent is traveling and unpacking it, setting it up, doing a job, and then going somewhere else. Because there's so much more work that's involved in just the one job. So you gotta then charge a premium for it, or else it'll just be a circus for you. You'll always be like the traveling tinter that can't quite get out of the tent. You know what I mean? Because if you're charging like $150, it's just there's so much more work that's involved in that. Hoarding the glass aid? Yeah, the last of it. It's mine. I made it. Have you ever thought of creating a Discord server for people who like that? Yeah, and they never stayed busy. So, Discord server, I actually have one, but I didn't keep up with it either. The Facebook group is about as close to a Discord server as I have. I wish the Facebook group had an inbuilt kind of like chat thing, and maybe they'll do it someday. But for now, the group is going to be kind of where it's at. I was looking into that kind of stuff for a long time. So we're using a blade on this one just because it's older. That's really it. I didn't find any other reasons. Just be sure that it's completely scraped. What do you think is better, the hybrid or the flat out? With Geo, I actually like the hybrid better now. The hybrid is a little bit more expensive, but well worth the price for the material that it is. I'm going to set up a little station for trimming off the end of the blade so they'll last longer for me. Ew, yuck. Yeah, see that grip right there? Oh, it drives me crazy. Throw it on a towel because I don't want to throw it on a seat, but then it starts sticking. Yeah, see, we're using a brand new fusion blade. Is Lumar CTX a good film? Yeah, for sure. It's not as good as Geo, but hey. CTX was one of the, I think, original ceramic films that I was introduced to. This was before nano ceramics were a thing. But then the nano carbons and nano ceramics came out. And that one, those kind of blew it out of the water for the time. I haven't checked it out in a while though. Where did you get your tint tool pouch? I got it from Sun Distributing actually. It's the Avery Dennison tool pouch. So those of you that saw my little shopping picture, Sun Distributing, I've actually known those guys for quite a while. I worked with them, not as Sun Distributing, but they have a tint shop called Tint Squad out in Waterford, Michigan. And they had a really cool startup. Hey!
Kevin
Thank you for
Alarcon
that.
super chatted $4.99. Wanted to thank you for inspiring me to start tinting. Thank you. Your videos, I watched all of them and rewatched them.
Aw, that was a really nice super chat. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the videos that much and they're helpful. Yeah, if you're wanting to learn how to tint, this is watch everything that you can. I'll always suggest watch everything that you can, but these are pretty special because they're always start to finish of something, and you get to ask questions along the way. So thank you very much for the 5. Kevin, thank you. But yeah, Sun Distributing had a really interesting start. Local tinter, the company was called Tint Squad, and I was doing mobile tinting with them. And then they were ordering so much film that their rep basically said, like, yeah, you should start just ordering 60s and cutting it down and selling it locally too. And that's kind of how they got their start. So what makes them very special was, one, like, always going out of their way for customers, and 2, being really unique about the tools that they carry. So if it's something that is unique that's out there, I can almost guarantee you that they're carrying it. And then they carry all the popular stuff that you could hope to find. So it's really, really cool. I like them a lot.
For you guys super chatted $4.99.
For you guys, no message. Thank you. Thank you for the 5. Definitely appreciate that one. Who's that? For you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, super sticker. That's why. I thought it said something. Thank you for the super sticker. I can't see it yet. I have to see it later. That's exactly it. Tight backside seals, cut them a little bit tighter. Yep, just give yourself less tint to tuck in the back. It's really the number one thing. A little bit of extra soap sometimes if it starts like grabbing, but yeah, give yourself a little bit less to tuck. So all you're really concerned about is making that line invisible. So if you make it exact, you'll see a gap from the outside. You tuck it in just a little bit, you're good to go. Cool. All that, we finished the door. I guess we can still tint windows, so that's nice. And you've been away for a couple weeks. Start to wonder. Woo!
For you guys super chatted $9.
For you guys is another. Oh, with a 10. Dude, thank you. Does this work? Oh, it's going to be this guy right here. Let's flip him around. Toolbox. There we go. What's up? Where's my window? Oh, I don't know where it is. No. That one. Thank you. Watch out for scratches with Tri-Edge. I really don't get them very often at all. They have the little smooth it thing. Some films have better scratch coats than others, and when they start to get worn out, you can definitely get them, but Does tint have to go on the inside? Well, it doesn't have to, but you're definitely going to want to. Can't tell you how many times I've had that, like, oh, I thought it went on the inside while I was tinting somebody's car. Everybody knows that one. Oh, that's loud. Sorry, there's a whole bunch of comments. Sometimes it's really hard for me to keep up with. Having trouble doing CTX ceramic, is there any recommendations on how to do them or any videos? Not really. If you can install regular film, then installing ceramic shouldn't be too much more, but ceramics, like, I haven't used CTX specifically. I just compared it on a heat lamp years ago. But Lumar was a pretty user-friendly film, I'll say that. Somebody was asking about their first order. Should they go with V-Nano or C2? I'd actually take a different route entirely. So some people argue that you want to use the film, you want to practice with the film that you're going to use. My only argument there is there's a whole lot of things that you're going to learn that every film is going to teach you. You're going to learn the basics of shrinking. You're going to learn the basics of handling. You're going to learn the basics of installing. So you want to make that as economically friendly as possible. So Tint Depot is a really good resource for budget-friendly films. They've got really good stuff too as well. So it's just like the difference can be like $300 or like $250 versus, like, I'm talking like a full 60, like a high quality 60-inch roll versus like $150. There's a big difference there. So look for like still a 1.5 mil film, but yeah, you can try and save a little bit. Between the two, I've never used V-Nano, so I'd suggest the C2 out of those two, but that's just what I use. I went with Avery as my first film. Have yet to try it. Need to clean my garage. Oh, that you actually used it. Avery was a really good film. The NR sticks a little bit more. The NR Pro is a really nice slidey film, but then it's got a little bit of haze to it. I don't know why there's that difference, but there is. Maybe they're just trying to make the entry a little less user-friendly, because they couldn't give me an answer either. But it peels clean, so that's nice. What do you think of Solar Guard? Solar Guard is thin. I didn't seem to have like any type of longevity issues. But that's a film I didn't use. But like I didn't use for any extended period of time. At the glass shop, they used Solar Guard for a long time, and they didn't really have any failures coming back from it, so that's really encouraging to see. So I tinted there for years after they had it, and I wasn't redoing a bunch of windows and stuff. So it's a 1 mil film, so it's only 1 mil thick, so it kind of feels more tissue papery, where most of the industry is using like a 1.5 mil film. So most of the industry is using just thicker films. Kind of more personal preference there, but they're like one of the unique companies that still use it. Have you ever tinted a side-by-side? What's a side-by-side? I actually don't even know what that is. So I guess we're gonna jump into these quarter windows here pretty soon, but maybe we should finish the doors first. Oh yeah, so we don't want to leave the car running for too long. So as you can see, these are really straightforward. I mean, I can see how much room that I have with these. How is Sun distributing Helios film? I haven't used the newer stuff. I pretty much know where it comes from. So good quality films, and I haven't used it. So yeah, it's hard for me to speak on it. But good people, I would trust that it's good film, and they'll definitely take care of you. It's a film that I used to use. I used to use some of it a while back, and I didn't have any issues with it. So, just one of the earlier gen carbons at the time, I think, was the main one that I was using. What film do you recommend if you're buying from Walmart AutoZone for a beginner? There isn't really anything that I can actually recommend from like a local store. They're all kind of garbagey. So it's for, like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm just going to put some film on some glass. And they'll all kind of do that, but they've got their own little quirks and stuff that make them a little less user-friendly. So any film for a beginner isn't exactly going to be very user-friendly, but those are just a little bit... Go to Tint Depot. But picking it up and playing around with it, like, you'll definitely learn about it. You might be able to get your windows tinted with it too, so. Yeah, same thing for like Amazon. The automotive film world with Amazon is like, it's a total mixed bag because there are no major brands that sell on there. It's because usually like the margins that are associated with eBay and stuff. So you can find film galore, and you can find people claiming to be 3M, but yeah, definitely not. Not unless it's some third party that is giving you some weird discount where they're losing money, and that usually is not the case. Is Gila tint still your favorite tint for high-end cars? A true shit poster. Do you recommend the floor you have? Yeah, I use it. And I bought more. So yeah, definitely. There'll be certain situations where it's probably not ideal for. So I have no floor drains under here. So it's supposed to help with like keeping your feet out of the water, and it does a great job of that. But you know, if you can't sweep the water and you spray lots of water, you have to give it a little time to dry out. And if you can't do that, then you could have some nasty situations. So. Have you tried Vortex IR from SolarGuard? I have not. There's going to be a bunch of films I haven't tried. Not in a while. Most of what I've been using, like strictly for the past year, has pretty much been Geo. It's been mostly focused on building this business and using Geo. In the past, some films that I've used has been like, I'm very familiar with ASWF, Lumar. Lumar's like some of their older lines. 3M. I've used a little bit of Suntech, Avery. I'm trying to think of who else. Scorpion, I've used them plenty. I haven't really used, like, you know, there's a company called Windcoast and Johnson and Matico, and I've gotten some samples and stuff, but I don't really use a lot of. Vortex is really good. Customers are loving it. Well, that's great. If it's working great for you, then keep on using it. I'm never going to be able to try every film though. Not in a really accurate setup. Like, I'll be able to put it on a car and give some like general thoughts, but no long-term things. Just too many films. Dang, comments. Comments are a little far away. So I need something bigger or here. I missed the last one. We need a third TV, which I think I'll lose my mind at that point. What do I like to use the most? Probably the C2. Both Pro Classic and the Ceramic are both great films. The C2 just slides in place a little bit nicer for me, so it's generally what I like to do the most. Just whatever's most user-friendly for me. All high-grade films across the board, though. It's different adhesive systems, I think. So this is going pretty nicely, though. Wait, what? I got some bad feedback with the vortex, but besides that, it's good. Doesn't that make it bad, though? Because if you... Sorry. But besides the bad comments, it's all good. There's been a few times. It just reminds me of some funny situations. So, like, early on nanocarbons and nanoceramics, up till even a couple of years ago, and some still do pretty badly, suffer from a low-angle haze problem. So generally, a properly installed film isn't going to get any negative feedback on the film. Like, if you have some speckles or something peels on you, it's going to be pretty much down to user error, like installation error. But when you get into like comments about like the look or the haziness or something like that, that is something where you're going to hear from some people, and you're not going to hear from absolutely everybody, but they might be thinking it, and that's where is really an issue. So anytime I install, like we were installing, was it Avery NR Pro, and then we would get the occasional comment about like, hey, my front doors seem a little hazy compared to the back. I don't like that. And when you get one person commenting on it, like, you shouldn't have anybody commenting on it. So that kind of makes it bad for me across the board. Just like if you get a couple people coming back for like imperfections and speckles and stuff like that, you want to be really, really conscious of everything you're doing, because generally there's going to be more people with the same issue. They're just too timid to come back. I have 35 and it's bubbling. And then somebody said if it's bubbling, it's a bad install. More often than not, if it's fresh, it's going to be installation problem. It's said in kind of a funny way, though, that makes it sound like a film problem. Saw pictures of somebody that installed film and then posted pictures the next day of like, look at this film failure. And it's like, that's a day old. It didn't have time for a film failure. It was installation. Where have you been? Haven't live streamed? I've been on vacation. And, oh my God, let me tell you guys, I planned my vacation at the perfect time. Those of you that are just tuning in, holy crap. So, I had a vacation planned to go to Texas for a couple of weeks. And everything was fine. The flight was good. We got there. Cool. I check cameras at the shop, and then there's just nothing. Like, nothing. And I'm just like, why? That's never happened before. So then, the next day, I try calling, DTE, and, is there, a power outage? And they're like, no, nothing that we can see in the area. And I'm like, oh, great. So thankfully, later the next day, Nick was able to roll by, and somebody ripped the power lines clean out of the building with a big box truck. So there had been a low-hanging power line out there, and they use some of these units for like storage and stuff. So they have deliveries coming in and out all day. Deliveries and pickups and stuff. And so I had caught one of them that had basically like brushed back against the line, and I just kind of assumed that they knew and they were gonna get it fixed. And then next thing I know, like we leave on a Monday, power is out on a Monday, and I just have no idea exactly why. So then I figure out why. Cool, okay, well at least it gives them time to fix it. 1 week goes by, there's still no power here. Another half a week goes by, there's still no power here. And then I thought I was gonna have to push off Monday appointments, which I actually did. Had to push them off a day, but power ended up coming back on Saturday, so it was out for a full 2 weeks. So I could like, what is the odds and what timing? Power's like, so even if I was back here, there would be like little to no work and definitely no streaming for 2 weeks. So if I took a vacation at any other time, I'd be very, very sad. That's just ridiculous. We got pictures too. Fried the side of the building. So now it looks even better than it did before. What kind of soap do you use on Suntech? I don't know. Probably be okay with either baby shampoo or Dawn. Those would be fine. I'm sure Fusion all type would be good, and Tin Slime. They'll all probably be fine. I just mix the two for Geo because it sticks a little bit more. Seemed to help a lot. I haven't tried Tin Slime or all type in quite a while. I tried them when they were pretty new, but it's been a while. I do have fresh batches of all of them though. Maybe we'll do it. We probably will. There's always something about trying a new soap and tinting, because like you don't ever want to screw up patterns and waste time, but when you're mixing up new soap and stuff like that, I guess I could put it in a spray bottle and play around with it first before I put it in a keg. What's your ratio? For the mix, I'll do like anywhere from a quarter to a third Dawn and the rest of it baby shampoo. I basically put in a bunch of baby shampoo and then add a big old squirt of Dawn to it. I don't have an exact amount. I just kind of look at it, and whatever seems right is what I go with. It's not that hard to figure out how much to use, though, because the idea is just to get the film slide around. And then when you squeegee it, you want it to tack up in place, because that's what you're doing. You're squeegeeing out the water, tacking up the film. So if it's sliding all over the place, that's no good. You put it on the window, you squeegee it, and it's still moving, squeegee, still moving, still moving. You want it to tack up, so then just use less. But if you use less and then you just put it on the glass and it freezes to the glass and you can't shift your tin around at all, then just add a little bit more next time. That's how you figure it out. It's a very common question, though. How much soap should I use? Enough. We are looking pretty good. I suppose, oh, we have those quarters. Did we take off? No, we didn't, so we can leave that. We should take off this one. We should take off this one. We should leave that cover. Because we gotta get to these quarter windows here. Hey! I got it. I got the Prius Prime Facebook help. Dude, that's awesome. Glad to hear it. Oh, that's super cool that they were able to help too. Yeah, it's one I've never done. What helped? If you can give like a brief summary, then I can kind of tell other people too. What are your recommendations for the tinting kits? a site like Tint Zoom. They have GeoShield, and they're kind of nutcases about software. So they've got like, I think three or four different softwares that they use for their patterns, because because pretty much nobody is 100% with their patterns. So they're a shop that actively like does tinting. Oh, what the heck? My hand, like, ugh, what a bummer. All right, we can save this for something else. I was like unrolling it, and with the backwards roll, I pinched the film. My bad. But there's enough on there for like a door or something, a couple doors. Tried tinting my windows, messed up, and was an idiot because I left it on there for a few days. I've been there, I've done that. So I had my first car was a 93 Buick Century, and that's not the most fun car to tint. So the guy that was actually tinting it, because, you know, I was just a kid going to school at the time, and my dad had some window tinters. So he had one that was learning, and another guy that knew what he was doing. Well, they figured they'd use it as a practice car for the day. That guy spent 6 hours and couldn't really tint it. And then he asked if I wanted it removed, and I was like, no, I want to drive around with it and just see what the shade's like, and then we'll have it tinted. Little did I know, I was making a nightmare for the guy that was actually going to tint it. Live and learn. How many cars do you generally try to do in a day? Really, on a day like this, only a couple. If it's like just a tinting day, I'd probably book like 3 cars and a couple sets of doors or something like that. That would be a pretty comfortable day. That just keeps you moving. When I was just trying to hustle and get a bunch of work done, it'd be anywhere from like 5 or 6 full cars in a day. That's not with full windshields though, but that's like full sedans, back windows. You don't see my message. I see messages. I just don't always respond to everything. Sometimes I'm talking. I can't listen and talk at the same time, but I did see that one. VWs? Yeah, they're definitely on the tighter side, for sure. They'll give you some headaches. Cut the sides a little bit closer and you'll be good. Don't try and psych yourself out too much, though. All right, so we have enough. Woof! I've been doing tinting for a little while now, and I've been charging $30. Damn, you are far discounted. I start front doors at $100. So here's the thing. If you can put out good front doors, then why should yours be any less expensive than mine? I don't know. So charge what you can, but $30 is like, you're basically paying for the film. It's basically covering like film costs, not much else. I should have made this a little bit wider, I feel. Maybe we'll do another one. I cut it exact. I don't want it to be exact. I want it to be a little bit wider. But we might have to cut off another piece here of a bigger roll. I had no clue how much to charge. So a good little way to kind of figure out is call around. Find out how much other people are actually charging for work, and then you'll kind of be able to gauge where the market's at, and then kind of hone in on where you want to go. You don't have to like shortcut everybody, but You'll know where other people are at. Call with like a genuine inquiry. Like, I have this car and wondering how much it's gonna cost. There you go. Bippity-bo. Cut the rubber on the inside? We will. We will. I'm just lining this up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, the difference between this one and this one is going to be, I'm gonna make this one just a little bit wider. That way it kind of completely goes behind the seal. It makes it just a little bit tougher to tuck in, but hopefully we'll be okay. When you come to the US, I'd like to meet you. Okay. So, I don't know. I've been asked a little bit lately what, like, shadow training and stuff like that. I can't quite, like, if you want to pop in and say hello, that's totally cool. I'm here more often than not now. So, just make sure I'm not streaming, or else it'll be a little bit difficult to say hello. You can do that by just checking YouTube. Other than that, it's cool to pop in. Just during working hours. But as far as like the shadowing stuff, that I wish I could accommodate, but I still have to figure out streaming. We'll be doing classes here not too long though. I gotta set that up. Got quoted $250 for Lumar ceramic on my Silverado windshield. Sounds about right. That's pretty much what I'd charge you. What's the best cheaper tint for 100 feet? Check out Tint Depot. All right, so this guy, what we don't want to do is just give a goofy hack here. So this is how much rubber that we have, and it pinches right against the glass here. It like rolls in, and so you basically want to remove some of that. So what I'll do is kind of go up at an angle and just kind of keep my blade consistent with that line. And we're just going to follow it down. So we're going to lose a little bit of rubber here, but it's going to allow our film to slide back. And so it'll look nice and consistent on the inside, and also you'll never see any difference on the outside. Like, it'll look all flush. It'll look way better doing it this way. Tighten that guy up. What are some simple things that go a long way with some customers? Good customer service, picking up the phones. Live streaming seems to be pretty cool. Just the little extras that they're not used to with regular companies and stuff. Taking the time to answer questions genuinely. All that kinds of stuff. There's that super chat. There it is.
CJ Ackerman super chatted $5. Sorry to go off topic. What shelving is that exactly for your tint rolls? And what LEDs are you running?
Thank you for the 5.
Thanks.
Oh, there's more to it. What? Sorry to go off topic. What is the shelving for your tint rolls? So it's pretty easy to come by. It's if you go into like the garage / closet section in like Lowe's or Home Depot, you can find most of it there. So it's these, it's some dual track rails. Was that loud? Oh, I thought we figured out the audio for it. Maybe we have to adjust it again. Funny how you never touch something and then it freaks out on you. So we've got these dual track brackets right here. And then these are little 6 or 7 inch brackets from Menards. That's all it is. Just dual track like closet rail shelving. And then the unique bit is the little roll holders for like the carpet shield. I had to go to a place called the Container Store for that. But yeah, I was looking for like basically some really inexpensive modular shelving. So what I like about it is I can like, there's a bracket that fixes to like a beam at the top. And then those rails you can move back and forth and adjust it based on the size rolls that you have, or, you know, if you want to make it a little smaller, you want to put a little bit more to like one side than the next, or one side than the other. Really, really flexible stuff. I like it. And then you can, you know, rearrange the brackets any which way. See, look at that. We got completely flush all the way in there. Or like, we're flushed out, I guess. I don't know what I was trying to say. But we're all the way tucked back, so we're not going to see any gaps when I squeegee this out. So I want to let this tack up just a little bit because it's going to do that. It's going to start to shift. So you got to put a lot of pressure up there to get all that air squeegeed out, because you don't have much room. That's why we did what we did anyways. Trimmed out a little bit. So we're gonna let this tack up, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna kind of sweep out. Just wait a little bit, not much. Or you could take a heat gun if you're impatient and kind of like bake it. Squeegee out small sections and then squeegee out bigger sections. Will there be a customer reaction when done? I don't think so. I haven't wanted to put people on the spot like that, I guess. This one's not like a Honda Accord. No, this one is easier than the Honda Accord. The Honda Accord, you don't have the same type of rubber that you can trim out. You just have a really annoying rubber gasket that basically goes right back into plastic. See, tacked up a little bit. Looks like it's stable where it's at. Now, this is where you be a little careful. Yeah, there we go. It's always that back little bit that'll kind of like leave an air bubble or two. Getting something back there that really doesn't have that little bend so it can squeegee everything out flush is always what I struggle with on these. So sometimes it takes a handful of swipes to get it all. I think we got just a little bit. Let me go grab something. Something that might work a little better for this situation. One of these guys. What flavor for film? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We're using Color Stable. Oh, that almost. Looks like we're all flat. There we go. That helped. Do you know when the white tape's going to be back in stock? I've been saying soon for a while, but I'm hoping soon. I don't know exactly when Glass-Aid's going to be back. I get as many delays as you guys get, and more. All right, so we got the other one to do, and then we got this back window to tackle, and we're going to be doing dot tricks on the inside of it. Why is it that I put 20% on the front windows of my truck and it didn't match the rear? It seemed lighter on the front. Welcome to the world of tinting. So people will blanket statement. Like if you ask like, hey, what percent is this? Like more often than not, you'll have so many people just shouting out 20. The truth is that it could be a lot of different shades. So if it's a foreign truck or SUV, it could be a little bit lighter. And then you also have the hue of the film. So some films will just appear darker or lighter depending on the hue that they use. Basically the coloring that they use. Not by much, but a little bit. You'll notice it more on the inside than the outside. So 17 RAM, it's pretty normal. That definitely is in the 20 range, but yeah, the film will definitely impact the way that that looks. There's always going to be a little bit of difference between one and the other, mostly from the inside looking out. From the outside looking in, you got a lot of light coming in through the windshield, so your windshield is untinted still. So it's always going to look a little bit lighter from that perspective, but from the inside looking out. This is Max Pro. Ooh, Max Pro is green, I know that. They're green like their boxes are. Cool. Can you tint without ever removing gaskets? Once in a while, you know. This car and basically every car that we've done on this channel has been non-removed, so a few, I think. It's basically two different styles. Some people like to remove everything, makes it easier to tint, but then you have the project of removing things. So I never learned that way. I kind of just learned how to handle the majority of situations, just leaving everything as is, and then I don't have to worry about taking stuff apart. Is Geo Reeboks global? No. No, global is just a Guari film, but Geo is maybe from Guari. So there's a lot of companies that are using Guari. Guari is a massive manufacturer out of India. So they actually don't have one specific SKU that they make. They make things to order, but there are going to be a lot of similarities between films for that. I heard Solar FX and XPEL are owned by Global. No, that's definitely not true. They're same thing. They all kind of come from Guari, so there's going to be a lot of similarities, but they're definitely independent companies from each other. Global was just the first popularized film from Guari. So a lot of people will say, oh, this is just Global, or this is just like Global, and that's like somewhat true. Comes from the same source. I enjoy watching your videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kind of like what's interesting about window film that I didn't learn about like the electronics industry until later is like the same thing goes with so many things and products is like there'll be a handful of manufacturers of like, like there's only so many companies that are making memory chips. So companies don't make their own memory chips. They use memory chips from Samsung or another company, and then they put those into their whatever their product is. And then sometimes there's just certain technologies that just get rebranded across the board. So same thing with window film. There's only so many manufacturers, and there's way more labels. So a lot of film companies will go to a manufacturer, and they'll get their own films made. Some of them will just straight rip another film out of a box and rebrand it, but it's usually how it goes. Have you ever tinted with architectural film? No, not on a house. I've done like one commercial job. And I did it like an auto tinter. So not efficiently. Architectural is something I have no interest in. Like, I appreciate the guys that do it, and you can make a lot of money doing it, and I want to see more people kind of, like, show more stuff in that range, because there's so much auto content out there. But I haven't been interested in doing it myself. I can't stream out of other people's houses. And going other places, ew. I like having a shop. People come here. I have everything all set up to do it. I think mobile was great. It makes good money. I just like having a home base and not moving. I think that's why most people prefer auto. Auto is really easy to get into because it's like you already have a car. And you can practice on it, and then people come to you, or you can drive to them and to another garage or something. But generally, like, architectural is just, like, it's not really as talked about, but you can make a lot of money in architectural. You can make more in auto, or more in architectural easier than you could in auto. And I say easier, but, like, just square footage and stuff. There's other challenges with it. I've never seen you do a tint strip or a sun strip. I actually did one this morning. Generally, the people that get their cars streamed aren't getting tint strips. I don't do all that many of them, but I still definitely do them. I just go flat edge on the tint. I'll cut them in half if it's got enough room in the center, like whatever the cutout is, or I'll just go straight across. You know, they're putting big old sensors in the middle of the windshield so you can split your windshield strips in half and just make it easier to install. Ooh, there we go. That was nice. Cool, there we go. Gapless fusion back quarter, like the good old days. So now we can pull the plastic off of the doors, and then we can knock out this back window because all the sides are done. Cool, that's already taken off. I did that. Is ATR better than awesome? I've used both, and I think I have more consistency with ATR. We actually have both right here, ATR and awesome. But it's been a little while since I've used ATR. There's a back window video on the channel where I think I did a side-by-side comparison. I think I did half awesome and half ATR. They smell very similar, and they work very similarly. But I think the ATR was a little bit more consistent. But awesome still works very, very well. I want to see you lay this Dratrix. We will do that. What kind of tint do you use in the shop? GeoShield. Is Tint Studio better than Tint Studio? What? That doesn't make sense. All right. So this is going to be set up for our YouTube video, so I got to give it a little bit of an intro. So we're going to be talking about a product called Dotrix, because if you look really closely here, we have a really wide dot matrix area. This is specifically for older cars that have really big dot matrix only at the top. Everything will usually have it around the sides. We're specifically talking about a big, basically vinyl strip on the top. So we're going to be setting this up for Dotrix, which will help blend that whole border in at the top and make it look better. I hardly ever have to do this, and I would generally, back in the day, charge more for it. But hey, this car is not that hard to do, and it's something nice we can do, and we can make it into a video so you guys get to revisit what Dotrix is like. It's not all perfect, but it's definitely much better on this one than just kind of like leaving it completely exposed, because all of that's going to silver out. So these are super simple shrinks. One of the flattest windows out there, really. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to shrink it like normal. And then we're going to cut off the top of the tint, and then we're going to layer over some Dotrix. So we're pretty much all set, ready to go with trimming this off. And then when we do that, we basically are going to create a template here. So let me just kind of like zip through this. When shrinking, do you leave the heat gun on high or low? I turn it up all the way. Every heat gun, all the way up, all the time. We do have a fusion heat gun that we're going to mess around with, though. Yeah, those little heat guns are awesome. We're going to be using a slightly better one here shortly, though. But we'll be doing that on another car. How many cars out of a 50-foot roll? Like a 50 by 36. You can generally get 8 out of 100, so 4 out of a 50 should be fine with like little waste. All right, so we have our outside pattern. But we're going to, let's see, where's my light? There it is. Okay, here's the kind of annoying part, like first of the annoying parts. So we're taking a light and we're gonna shine it on the inside, and we're gonna brighten up the bottom of that dot matrix. So get yourself a stool somewhere to kind of look over here. You can see that difference right here. So this is where, whoa, don't fall. Oh my God, that would not be fun. So we're gonna kind of freehand this. You wanna do it as straight as you can. Just go slow and cut right at the bottom of that dot matrix. So what you're gonna do is basically trim the whole bottom of the dot matrix off. Round off your ends just a little bit. Makes it look a little cleaner. And then you're going to do that with the other side, and what you're doing is you're making a perfect template for what you need cut out on your Dotrix, because the Dotrix is a soft vinyl that you cannot see through at all. So you're also blacking out the very top of this. Or you can get a level and get a guide. Well, a straight edge, because this is curved, wouldn't quite work as well. you'll get a funky curve. But you could try and use something to help cut along this. But if you've been cutting for a little while, I mean, it's really not hard to do that straight of a line as long as you have a nice close guide. And that's kind of what we did right there. So now we have our tint template that we can go put off here on the side. So that is not straight. And then we're going to basically tint the rest of the glass like normal. We're just gonna leave a huge gap at top and like pretend this is normal, right? Like, yeah, it's totally normal. Like, I never tint over dot matrices. So just kind of straighten it out because, you know, you cut a relief line in there. So you just kind of even all that out. Oh, dang. We almost got it all. Never used Pro Classic. Yeah, I do use Baby Shampoo and Dawn together. They're a happy family. So we're going to tighten up these bottom edges. Basically, anytime you shrink a back window and then you cut out your pattern, you're kind of cutting away some of the area that you shrunk. So there can be little wavy spots there. So I always take a heat gun at the end and just kind of tighten all that up. Little pro tip for the stream, because we're not going to include that part in the video because that'll make it too long. Ha! So you guys went out. All right, let's move some of this stuff. We just got a little bit of extra wonderful things here. I don't know what that is. Good thing is we don't have to take out headrest. I'm so used to having to take out like the triple headrest that they have back there. How do you make it look smooth? Lots of practice. Lots of frustrating years of practice. We're gonna move some seats out of the way. Bop-a-da-bop. Towel. Ever found illegal substance? I have. Also guns. Guns was like a really annoying thing to find. Just because it's like, can you please remove firearms from like pointing at me while I'm pulling in your vehicle and tinting it? I just don't want something accidentally going off, shooting me in the face. That would be nice, thanks. All right, actually, let's move all these things to the floor, get it out of the way. All right. So we need a clay bar. Clay bar. We have a scrub pad. I don't know if we'll use it. We got this. We need some back window tools. So nothing crazy. Side swipe is good. Bulldozers are good to have, but we shouldn't need it in a window like this. Because we got a lot of room here. All right, so we're going to be tinting this like normal. Give it a good spray down. Give it a good clay bar scrub down, however you prep and tint your back windows. This part is kind of just ignore this part. We're going to skip through a little bit of this for those of you that are watching the video. For those of you that are watching the stream, though, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. We are doing dot tricks. We are thoroughly cleaning the dot matrix area and the back window, and we're going to be tinting it like normal with a giant gap. Because why not? All right, squeegee this down. This is some mucky water. And then we have a side swipe. I got the fusion blades to mess around with the side swipe too, so we'll be doing some comparison between like the OG blades and like the fusion replacement blades. This will be fun. I'm excited. I got a whole bunch of like different tools. Some stuff I definitely wouldn't normally use, and I don't know. I want to know what you guys are using and how it compares to what I'm using. Because what I'm using is obviously better. No, everybody's got different preferences. All right, peel. Slap this guy in there. We're gonna butt it up to that dot matrix. A lot of room on these. Just sometimes those bottom side panels like will press against the window, and then you'll have to kind of like shift them out of the way while you're laying this back window on. Doesn't look like this one does that, but sometimes they do. It's an old thing. I don't know why they made them that way, but they did. All right. So we're just lining that up with where we cut it, which is right below that dot matrix there, right towards the end. So you should have just nice line straight across, looking pretty good. Tack it in a spot where it's not going to shift away. Then we'll get to the fun part. The super duper fun part. Geo's customer service is fantastic. And what's cool is you can actually call them out in the Facebook group and they'll respond within like minutes. Somebody did that today. If they had an issue with like one of the bottom edges of their 5%, and they're like, ah, we'll take care of it. They're nice that way. Okay, so we have this tinted, and we're going to clean it, inspect it first before we seal it in with some good old before we put on the Dotrix. Cubby's always watching his Facebook. Yeah, he's probably not even working. He's probably just on Facebook all day. But it works for the company, so hey. They're not doing anything. Looking pretty good. We have a little bit of like, oh, this is just coming off. Okay, we're gonna scrub that off. I was gonna say there's like a little adhesive I was gonna take off, and then it's been kind of wet and it's coming off easily. Cool, so we have a back window. So we cut this short, we installed it short, and the reason is you want to layer the Dotrix over. You don't wanna put the tint over the Dotrix, because what the Dotrix does is it kind of fills in all those little air spots with a softer material, a thicker glue. So that's what this stuff is right here. I don't know if I have some scrap in here. Nope. So this is Dotrix. It's a thick, non-transparent vinyl that was kind of made for this. Or it was some vinyl that was ripped and then called Dotrix, and it just works really well. I don't know. This is an older thing that I used to do. It was more popular in like 2010 to like 2014, somewhere in there, when they were putting out a bunch of cars with really wide dot matrices at the top. So I would get a lot of complaints about like an inconsistent top dot matrix area. So this was the fix that I was using that would make them generally much more happy. I would sell it rather than just install it, because at the time it was one of those things that was so common and it takes extra time and you're using extra material. So it's like, hey, if you're gonna argue with me about it, this is my fix for it, but it does cost some money. So this is my template. We want it facing the exact same way. So meaning we want the adhesive to face the same way. Now, since my first video on this stuff, like way back in the day, they have made a couple of interesting adjustments to Dotrix. It seems to like hold onto the backing pretty well, and then it's easier to peel. So you kind of like etch into this material. So we're just tracing out slightly bigger, usually like a 1/4 inch bigger, maybe up to a 1/2 inch at the most, and you're just kind of etching into the vinyl. You can cut straight through the backing too, but they beefed up the backing on this, and I kind of like it that way. Keeps it all together for a nice peeling experience. So the top part you can be a little janky with. The bottom part you're going to want to be a little bit more precise, because that's the main cut that you're going to see. And again, freehand cut wider, and then just follow that line. So you'll be able to see it easier in person. On camera, it might be a little bit tough to tell where the edge of the Dotrix is and where the edge of the tint is. But basically, we just mosey through this. And then we can just cut this chunk off and save it for a rainy day, or in case we mess up, right? Look at that. You'll generally be able to get 2 to 3 strips out of one dot matrix. So this is very handy to keep around. Usually I throw it in the same box, I forget about it, and then maybe it gets damaged or something, I don't know. But it's good to not throw it away. And then for the rest of it, we're peeling it, and watch this. Woo! See how it kind of just peels away from the backing like that? Looks like we cut through the whole backing in some spots. Maybe we just did the whole thing. Oh, no, not there. So some of the backing we cut through, but look at that. It looks like it was cut out on a plotter. How about that? So now we got to wet the inside of this. So we already cleaned it off. We clay barred it. And then you just tint it like you would tint a normal window. But you want to be a little careful of this edge here. So this has had a little bit of chance to like kind of tack up, but it's still very fresh. So like if you were to put a layer of tint over tint, you just want to be a little sensitive to the tint underneath it. Give it a good spray. Come over here. And then, you know, I do this plenty of times off the car, but because this is here, we can just continue to like peel this off. And it definitely still clings a fair amount to the backing. But this stuff is, like I said, it's non-transparent, and it is very forgiving. So this stuff will stick a lot more aggressively to the dot matrix. It can kind of be like the biggest pain in the ass about it, is trying to get it to stick exactly where you need to without leaving like a light gap or anything behind. So this may fall away a couple of times, but it can do that and still look really, really clean when it's done. So hopefully we don't have to do that a bunch. Hopefully we just get it right away. So I usually start on one side, kind of guesstimate it, and then shift it down if we can get it to go that way. No, we are a little high. See that? See how it starts trailing that way? Well, we got another distributor in chat. What's up? That's cool. Welcome. You can answer any questions people have about Autobahn and Hooper Optic and stuff. Also, being a Canadian distributor, that's sweet, because I get lots of questions about Canadian tint ordering, but I'm in the US. That is not my specialty. Just don't try and cold sell anybody or else I'll kick you out. All right, and then once we have the material in place, and look at that, we're just going, you notice we're using a little baby squeegee here. Oh, you know what? Oh, God. I got little baby squeegees now. Ooh, we get to try one of these. Let's try the green one. Green one? No. Soft ones? No. Pink? Let's use pink. Why not? Look at that. Got diffusion versions now. Oh, it sticks. Oh, I don't like that at all. Okay, well, let's go back to what we were using. Oh, that's why I get stuff. It sticks to the Datrix too much. Good old Orange Crush. Pulling away with it at the end. Sweet. And we overlapped it a little bit far here. And then we're going to go over it one more time, just to try and get as much air out as we can. This stuff, like I've said a bunch of times, is really soft. So you can heat it up too much very quickly, like if you're trying to like heat out a little spot, and just like rip a hole right through it. It's very, very soft material. So do a little bit at a time, squeegee it out all evenly, and then you can check on it on the outside and see how you did. The only frustrating thing about this, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, there's always seems to be like a little white line at the very bottom where it overlaps the tint. It overlaps the dots and sticks great, and then it darkens it all up and looks much, much better. So you can see we got a little air coming in here. Put a little bit of pressure, knock all that out. You can also take a heat gun, but be very, very careful. So you can see now, this is all kind of evened out, completely blacked out, blended in, even with, we got 20 on the back, but we have a lighter deck lid, so you can still see into that, but it still creates this nice like blending effect. You don't have the ugly white dot matrix all through the top. So you'll still get it on the sides, unfortunately, because, I mean, that's just how tint is. But as far as the top goes, that is all Datrix up now. If I see any little extra air pockets or something, I'm going to push those out. Maybe heat up the edges a little bit, make sure it's sealed in. But that is how you do Datrix. Hope you guys liked that explanation. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, maybe every once in a while you run into one of these situations. Have a good one. What do you guys think? You think that made a good Datrix video? I'm asked about that every once in a while, so I didn't even really like, I saw the car and I'm like, oh, you know what? Datrix. Datrix. People are gonna ask about it. And then you guys make Sun Distributing order more of it. Because not many people order this stuff very much, but they do stock it. That's what I like about them. They stock the weird stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have to order all the time, but they know. And then they'll message me. They'll be like, "So we had to reorder a bunch of Dodricks." Where do I put this? Do I put it? I guess we put it right here, but we took it out of the box. Oh, it's sad. Let me just put it right there. Where do you get that black vinyl? Yep, Dotrix Sun Distributing stocks it. Let's razor that off, and then we'll be done. This is full fusion. Good to be back. How long did this take? I have no idea. I have no counters. Hopefully not too long. Dude, you're organized? Look at my videos from like a couple weeks ago. I'm like far from organized. Now we're more organized. So yesterday I took a little trip. They're local to me. I worked with them years ago, and we still kept in touch. 2 hours for a fusion. Ah, what the heck? So long. These were like, when you're just busting through these things, oh man, I love these things. These were like half hour to an hour car. And we would get so many of these in like one day. I miss the fusion days, like these fusions especially, like these ones. It's like when I had these on the schedule, it was gonna be a good day. It's like getting Malibus now. If I get Malibus, I'm like, let's give me infinite Malibus. Wah. So pop this guy back in. It clips down. Stay. All right, now this little guy, little light twist back up in there. Oh, that was quick. I remember I used to have to fiddle around with that thing for like 5 minutes sometimes to get that stupid little light back in. That was like 2 seconds. Yes. So we'll go around, do some quick last second touch-ups. Oh, it's so funny. They'll be like, Sun Distributing will be like, sweet. What product you sending people here for? I'd be like, Dotrix. And they'd be like, fuck you. What? Super chat.
Pearson super chatted $2. Tint looks great. Shop looks sick too. Fire.
Fire. JJ with a 2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, especially the part where he said fire. Is it normal to have holes in it? In the tent? No, you shouldn't have holes in it. Sweet. Oh, do you know what I love about that toolbox there, besides all the fun tools that are in it? I guess there wasn't much to touch up. Sweet. That's always fun. I love the little change that sprayway? Is that what they're called? Sprayway. That's the glass cleaner I like. They put these nifty little caps on here that's just, boom, that's it. I don't have to take off a cap anymore and misplace it. Boom. I gotta know somebody at Sprayway right now is going like, yeah, he likes the tops. Look at that. They sell them like this now. You can just you don't even have a safety on it. Just right in the store. Why didn't he fix the big dent? Because the first thing that you fix on a car is the windows. That's how it always goes. Dang! This turned out nice. I'm really happy with this. Especially that dot. No dots. Exactly, no more fishbowl. Which is ironic because I just set up a small fish tank yesterday. Do people pay you extra to stream your cars? No, unfortunately. Maybe someday, but that's not the goal with it. It's really good for marketing, though. So it's just like, it's a way for me to keep the channel going and then actually get stuff done at the same time. That's really why it started. And it's a lot of fun to do. But yeah, more often than not, people that come to get their cars tinted here don't really realize that I stream them until I tell them. And then they're like, oh, so you like make YouTube videos? Uh-huh. Oh, cool. And then maybe they'll check out the channel. It's been happening a lot more lately, but it was more like, oh, okay. Anyways. Okay, I'm going to start the car, make sure that turns on before I take off that box, because that will not be fun. Yeah, buddy! Look at that. Good old charging box, thank you for doing your duty. Oh, I should put little googly eyes on that guy. Put two little googly eyes, like right there, like. Whatever, you don't have to be so humble, you're famous. No, I'm not. Maybe, okay, good, it's closed. I got recognized at a Chinese food place and a pizza place. Getting takeout both times. That's about it. Just got this little guy here. Are you gonna come to Tinter battles? That already happened, didn't it? When are they doing the next one? I think I'm going to SEMA this year. That was unexpected, but I think I am. Alrighty. So that's that. Let's shout out some super chats and then we'll peace out for today. Cannon. Whoa! Wow, that's falling off. The next one's in March in Florida. Ooh, all right. SEMA in November, Florida in March. You might have to do that then, because vacation. I'll just splice that into another vacation. Thank you. All righty. I'm assuming it'd be near Orlando. Where's, yep, YouTube's still being done with the super chats. All right, let me go pull up a list somewhere else. Go to Disney? I would love to go to Disney. I would love to go to Disney. Alrighty, so we're going to shout out some super chats here. We are... I bet it's going to be near Orlando/Tampa. Because Tint is kind of near Orlando, and there's a lot of people that are near Tampa, so it's got to be in that general area. Okay, so big shout-outs. Thank you very much for the Super Chats. JJ Pearson, CJ Ackerman, for you guys, Kevin, and Dorito. Much appreciate all the support as always, and thank you to everybody else that tuned in today. This was a good stream. I hope you learned something. We're going to be streaming maybe a little bit more often. We're streaming on a Tuesday today, so I am here full-time now. So we're going to be kind of streaming a little bit more frequently, and videos, there should be more of that. So it's one reason we did the Dotrix thing, so that'll be up in a video form. And so I will be back probably then tomorrow. I think I got somebody that wanted me to stream in the morning, so I think I will have something at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So subscribe for that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Where's my end button? There it is. Goodbye.